How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to my channel. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati, and today I'm doing another What If Fantasy Kaiju Battle video. Let's meet our first contestant right now. Yes, it's Destroya from 1995's Godzilla vs. Destroya. This behemoth came to life from the death of Godzilla from the Oxygen Destroyer. His origins are created from the Oxygen Destroyer, so it's kind of irony with Destroya that the death of Godzilla from the Oxygen Destroyer created life in the form of Destroya. A very big, huge, menacing kaiju, very demonic looking to me. It is the devil kaiju of the kaiju universe, in my opinion. Very imposing kaiju, towered over Godzilla, very formidable. Of course, killed Godzilla Jr. in the film, very tragic. Very evil kaiju here. This is Destroya from the 1995 iconic film Godzilla vs. Destroya. He is our first contestant in our What If Fantasy Kaiju Battle. Let's meet Destroya's opponent right now. Yes, everybody, it would be Rodan. In 2019, they called Rodan the Fire Demon. Any version of Rodan I'm speaking of versus Destroya, because we've had multiple versions of Rodan. I've brought up the 1964 X Plus, 68 X Plus 30 centimeter Rodan, but Rodan is, of course, born of fire and flame of volcano origins, and Rodan to me is just a gigantic form of a prehistoric pterodon, but a very menacing, posing monster who's been in multiple tokusatsu films and movies and Godzilla movies and what the less, and even had his own movie, which is really cool. I love Rodan. Very, very awesome creature. Very powerful, winged, flying menace of the skies, so to speak. And Rodan will face off against Destroya in today's What If Fantasy Kaiju Battle. Now let's bring them face to face and have a quick conversation and my thoughts of this impending lockup. Let's do that right now. All right, everybody. Fantasy Kaiju Battle Volume 2 is Rodan versus Destroya. Who do you got in this fight, people? Me, personally, I think it would be very interesting. It would also depend on factors in the fight. Of course, Destroya is very big and ominous and demonic looking and evil and very, very powerful, in my opinion, Destroya, but also very slow and lumbering. So if Destroya could keep Rodan grounded, which would be a tall task, keep Rodan grounded, use his power and his obvious size advantage and just overpowering presence, I think he could succumb Rodan in a fight very easily. Destroya could do that. I mean, if you recall in the movie, Destroya hooked Godzilla with his clawed end of his tail here and drug him across the city like he was nothing. So he has immense power, Destroya, and I feel like he would really put a hurting on Rodan if he can keep Rodan stuck to the ground and not in the air. Definitely an advantage for Destroya if he could somehow maybe wound Rodan one of his wings or something and keep him. If he did that, Destroya would win clearly. If he could ground Rodan, I feel like Destroya could easily defeat Rodan. On the other hand, though, Rodan is a flying sonic boom, sonic weapon and that is his ultimate weapon, I feel, is his power of flight and speed in flight, his maneuverability. He's faster than any jet plane. He's a very dangerous kaiju in the air. And I feel Rodan would strike easily and quickly on Destroyer, who he has the ability in a flying form, but he's pretty methodical and pretty slow. So if he took to the air and tried to fight Rodan, I feel Rodan would defeat Destroyer in that manner. And even if Destroyer's in his final ground form here, I feel like Rodan would pick and choose and hit and strike from the air and eventually wear Destroyer down. I mean, I could even see Rodan swooping in from behind because of his speed and clawing and grabbing Destroyer and picking him up, flying him into the air if he can manage to pick him up, and then dropping him on a building or something if they were fighting in a cityscape, or even if they were fighting in the countryside, dropping him on a mountain or something. I mean, I can see Rodan doing severe damage to Destroyer in that respect. I think the fight between these two would be, could Destroyer ground Rodan? That would be his key to winning. Or can Rodan avoid that ground combat and being grounded and use his flight, his speed, his sonic abilities to take Destroyer out? If I was picking between these two kaiju, I would pick Rodan. I think Rodan would avoid being grounded. I think he would avoid that at all costs. And I feel if he avoids that, he would use his speed, flying speed, and sonic abilities, and his maneuverabilities in the sky, and his speed, overall speed advantage against Destroyer in that respect. He would use that to tremendous advantage and do quick strikes on Destroyer and attack him from the air at multiple angles from behind and whatsoever. I even feel like I said, he could pick him up, take him aloft and drop him, and then I feel with Destroyer's mass and weight, he couldn't avoid some damage from that because he is not a very fast mobile flyer. In my opinion, he was a pretty slow flyer in comparison to Rodan. So if I'm picking one kaiju in this battle in a knockdown drag out, you give them both their abilities, I feel it would be a hard fought win for Rodan, and he would probably incur some damage for sure, but I just feel Rodan would take the victory over Destroyer. Don't fall, Rodan. This is drunk Rodan, by the way. This is my 30 centimeter. I have to pin him up behind my 25 centimeter Rodans because he will fall over. But that's my pick, Rodan over Destroyer ever so slightly. But if Destroyer was to hurt and wound Rodan where he can't fly, he grounds him, then I feel like Destroyer would come out with that victory. All right, everybody. I'd like to know what everybody else thinks if these two would actually ever hook up in a great battle. Who would you pick? Who would you choose, Rodan or Destroyer? Any version of Rodan you can pick, because there's multiple versions against Destroyer. Who do you think would come out on top? I'm picking Rodan if he has the ability, his super ability of supersonic flight the whole time in the battle. I feel like he would win. Y'all can comment below. I will bring the camera closer now and we'll take a final look at these two very iconic kaiju from the Kaiju universe, and I will give you guys a closer look at them, and then I will end my video. I want to thank everyone that always tunes in, and me, Rodan, Destroyer, would like to wish you all a very fun-filled, kaiju-filled day. God bless, and I'll talk to you again real soon.